Okay, shalom everybody. Today I want to go through the Ukrainian Y chromosome because the Ukrainian country of Ukraine is right above the Black Sea. And this is the area where the Israelites are reported to have gone to or vanished to, one of the places. So it's interesting. I've somewhat covered the lost tribes of Israel, but not to a great extent. So I wanted to go ahead and go through one of the places where they are said to have been. Now this is very very interesting, very significant because turns out there is evidence of Israel there, and I'm going to go and get into it just now. Okay, so we have here what's called the Ukraine. I gotta back out a little bit. This is the Ukraine. This is the Black Sea, of course. And we have some DNA pie charts here, obviously, apparently. So what we need here is to look at this color code here chart. This thing. What do you call it? There's a word for this thing. But my geography class was so long ago, I forgot what it was. The legend. What do you call it? Legend? Anyway, so we got. In order to find the Jews, we're going to have to look for J2. That's Judaic. J2. Oh, we got T1 too. If you see any brown here. Oh, I see some brown. Yep, I see some brown. That's our signature Jewish population. Remember the T1? You know what the T1 was? T1 is Javan, which is down in Greece, but they mixed in with Israel when in the days of King Solomon before Israel and Judah separated. So this T1 is very interesting. It's an interesting signature of the Jewish people, which always seems to be present. So this is what we need to look for. We'll look for the J2, the T1, the G is also present. Okay. G, of course, is Assyria. Assyria from Asher. That's the G2. Of course, it could be, some Assyrians that wandered up in this area too, but they accompanied the Jewish people. Now, let me see this N. Of course, we have some N because N where Siberia is up this way. So N is related to the OY chromosome, and we should expect to see that at least a certain amount. But right now, oh, we got something here. What is this? E1, B1, B1, A1. This is the signature of the Jewish people, which is probably the Canaanites. It seems to accompany them wherever they go. Albert Einstein was an E1, B1, B1, whatever. Adolf Hitler was an E1, B1, whatever. So this is kind of a signature, the same as the T is a kind of a signature of the Jewish people, and the G accompanies them, the E1, B1 accompanies them, the T accompanies them, and because this is not the area for Egyptians or Canaanites or anyone other than being the signature of the Jewish people. So this is what we need to look for. The T1, J2 is nice because that's Judaic. G, E1, B1, and then of course this is Israel. The I2 and the I1 is Israel. This is the paternal Y chromosome of the Israelite people, the I2 and the I1. So we go up here, what do we see here? Okay, there's a green. We could see the green here. So the green is the Judaic population. We have of course, the N is the purple. We have the E1, B1. We have the G and the J2. And the white one is what? Oh, the white one is other. The white one is other. So we have clear signature of probably the Canaanites here. Very strong signature of the Canaanites. The Assyrians and the Judaic people, of course, but farther south here, there's more Judaic people, so that could be the reason why there's a Judaic population here in this area, because they probably came from down south this way. But then, of course, we got 1/4% or a quarter of the population, that's 25%, is Israelite up here. We have the Canaanite population, the T, remember the T? Oh, the T is the green, right? Which one's the T? No, the T is the brown, okay. Where's the brown? Oh, the brown is a sliver here. We got a T. Okay, not so much T here, but we got a sliver there. And because this is actually Javan, this is Greece, which I suppose it could have come from down there, but it does accompany the Jewish people, and it seems to accompany considerably. Anyways, we move over here. Still 1/4% Israelite, 1/4% Israelite population. This, of course, included in the Jewish population is like almost a third. Not quite. Well, if you consider the other signature populations of the Assyrians, the Canaanites, and the TY chromosome. Well, what was the purple again? Oh, the purple is the N. Okay. Okay, so that's interesting. But we always see this basically 1/4% of the Israelite population everywhere we go. This is, of course, is the Ukraine, and this is the Black Sea. So here we have a less amount of the Judaic population, a greater amount of the Israelite population. We still have the E1B1 of the Canaanite population. We still have the purple is the N, right? But we still have the okay. Now we're having more of the T. This brown color, we're having more of the brown color here, and we still have the Canaanite signature here. Okay, and up here, I'm gonna have to fix this. Here we got still have the TY chromosome, which is the Javan people in the Israelite population. We have Jewish population. We have the Canaanite signature, and the stronger T signal, the stronger T. But it's usually only a sliver like this anyways, but it's very commonly present, the TY chromosome. So still have the Judaic up here. Okay, here the Judaic is missing and the TY chromosome is stronger. The Assyrian is stronger, which of course could be because the Assyrians are not too far away over here. Yeah, the Assyrians are not too far away, but that could be why the Assyrian signal is getting stronger. But we still have, of course, the dark blue is the I2 and the lighter blue is the I1. Of course, the I1 is what is more commonly seen in Scandinavia, but still present here. But the main thing I noticed here, or I wanted to note, is the presence of the T, presence of the E1B1, and the Assyrian Y chromosome, which technically could all be included as Israel. This whole section here, this whole area here could be included as the population of Israel, which is over 1/3 of the population right there. Over 1/3 of the population right here. You know, that's supposing that the E1B1 belonged or came with Israel. That's supposing that the Assyrians came with Israel and the T came with Israel, which is a possibility because they're very commonly associated with the Jewish people. So in all these pie charts, you always have this E1B1, often have the T, and of course the Assyrian is always seems to be around. Um, Almost always the Assyrian pink, which I'm pretty sure that's right. Assyrian pink. Yeah, the G would be the Assyrians. That's about it. This would be, of course, Ukraine above the Black Sea, and the Y chromosomes that tend to accompany the Jewish people or the Israelite people wherever they go. That seems to be inherent in their population, which otherwise probably would not arrive here. For example, the TY chromosome really has no way of getting here. The E1B1 has no way of getting here. I mean, it's a possibility, but it wouldn't be so consistent throughout the population, I think, like this. Because it's like everywhere Israel is, you have the E1B1, the Assyrians, and the TY chromosome, it seems. And a little sliver of the Judaic population as well, which should be expected. So that's the Ukraine. And there's other maps that show the same thing. I just wanted to show that, basically. So if we go back over here, let me see. See if we can, don't mind me backing up a little bit. Okay. Get a little bit dizzy looking at this, maybe. Actually, I should go to the saved images instead of looking for it. But here's a map of the Y chromosomes. But those are a little confusing, actually. It's a little bit crowded. It's hard to see. Found another map here. This is kind of interesting. I don't know the age of this, but it's really kind of off. I don't want to really go into it right now, but I suppose we could. Just to show the contradiction, you have A, B, and then you have the C, says South Arabia. I'm thinking this is older. Then you have the D, and the E comes off the D, which makes no sense at all because the D is the Andamanese that never even went that way. The C going to South Arabia. Maybe there are some in South Arabia, but they're more in Asia and even all the way to America. The F is a population in and of itself. You have G, H, I, and J, and then J2 is Judaic. The PQR is the European Asiatic from the K, and the O, and they have the M coming off the O. It's the N. The N comes off the O. They got the N over here. The N actually comes off the O, and the PQR, the Q comes off the PQR. Where is the Q? Oh, here's the Q. Yeah, the Q comes off the PQR, the N comes off the O, and the M goes all the way back to its origin. But just to show the inconsistencies of some of the information, that's it. Um, so if I can ever get to it or find it, I'll just have to go. I guess I'll have to go to my saved maps. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go saved maps. So we'll go here. What's this? Okay, this is interesting here. I don't know why, but we go here. Now, why is it I can't find that map? Here's it. Try this one here. See if it works. Okay, so we're going to the Black Sea up here. Okay, this is not working. Try again. Okay, this is where the area that we're looking at, of course, is we have the I2A here, but this is all the way to the Mediterranean Sea. And but it's the area we're looking at was right around here, just to get an idea. And of course, the Judaic is here, the I2 is here, and the I1 is up in Scandinavia. But that's not cooperating very well, so much for that. So if we look at see if we can look at a population of see what this is, Ashkenazi Jews. Okay, this is, in case that somebody thinks I'm making up stories, here's the TY chromosome right here. The GY chromosome is here. The E1B1 Y chromosome is here. And this is the J Y chromosome of the Ashkenaz Jewish people, which includes Arabic J2. But you see here, I'm not making things up. You see the T, the G, and the E in the Jewish population. Of course, the I is here, a little bit of I, which is in Europe and generally anyway. So just as nobody, in case, so you can see I'm not making things up. The T is here, the G is here, and the E1B1 is here. And the Jewish population, Ashkenazi Jews. Okay, and you can probably look at other ones too, probably show pretty much the same thing. And again, not to belabor the point or anything, but let's see if we can do this here correctly. Okay, so we have in America, of course, this is America. We have the E, the B, the G, the T. So already we have the signature population of the Jewish people. See the E, the B. Of course, this is North African of the Phoenicians that went to America. We have the T, the G, and of course, interestingly enough, we got not only the J1, the J2, we have the I1 and the I2 as well in America. But a strong signature of the T because we're talking about the Javan people of the Mediterranean who became part of the Phoenician sea people who went to America. And of course, Q is in America, and R went to America too because this is the European R1B. The R1A is deeper into Europe, but the Mediterranean R1B is found in America because they probably hitched a ride with the Phoenicians that went to the Americas in the days of King Solomon. But there you see the signature of the Jewish people again, which would be, of course, even the R is a signature, but the T, the G, of course, you have the I. You have all four of these: I1, I2, J1, J2, and the B and the E in America. In the indigenous populations, of course, this is brown. Brown is America, as you can see here. So I'm not making it up. It's just, a pattern that we can see. Genetic distance chart is very important because it shows the J and the I belong to the same tree. The Assyrians, the F, well, the Assyrians are the G, the Syrians are the F, and the Lydians are the F2, which is a totally separate branch from the F1, F, and the H is the Dravidian, Elam Dravidians, because you have the Gypsies and the Dravidians in India. They're two separate groups, but they're both H. They're both Elamites, descendants of Elamites, descendants of Asher, descendants of Aram, where you get the Arameans and the Aramaic from, and the Lydians. So, as I was saying, I said in the previous video, I've said that they keep trying to do away with Israel, make Israel disappear, saying that Israel wasn't a real nation or anything like that. But they forgot they have to get rid of the Assyrians, they have to get rid of the Arameans, the Elamites, and the Lydians, and the Nimrod. They got to get rid of Nimrod because he's a major player there. And you know, actually, they got to get rid of all of the grandsons of Noah. It's not just Israel they got to get rid of in order to disprove God. They have to get rid of all of the grandsons of Noah, which would be all the E3s, which in this case is the E1B1, because they changed the names. But they'd have to get rid of Gomer. They'd have to get rid of Magog. They'd have to get rid of Tiras. They'd have to get rid of the Thracians. Well, that is Tiras. They have to get rid of Javan. They have to get rid of the Thracians, Tiras, and they have to get rid of Madai, which is the KY chromosome. They have to get rid of course, Gomer, but they have to get rid of all the grandsons of Noah, 16 grandsons of Noah. Then there won't be any people left on earth because we're all descended from the grandsons of Noah. See, they forgot. They keep trying to get rid of Israel, saying Israel doesn't exist, but they have to get rid of all the other grandsons of Noah too, not just Arphaxad, because this is Arphaxad or Arphaxad. So they failed. They can't get rid of the evidence. Just like you can't get rid of over 100 million cubic miles of water deposited sediment layers all around the world, 6 mega sequences of deposited sediment layers with land, marine, insect, plant life, everything all buried together in the same place, in the same layers, by the way. So they can't get rid of that, and they can't get rid of the DNA evidence. They can't get rid of the 16 grandsons of Noah because that's who we all are. So that's too bad for them. Go ahead and look at this map here because this is just a real quick recap. You got Phut, Cush, Mitzrayim, Madai. You got Magog is a huge population. That would be probably the O population, the O and the N. And Gomer is the R and the Q that went to America. Meshach and Tubal, you got Javan and Tiras. And this is a simple map. This is not even, but just to give an idea. So Turkey, let's see what kind of population we have in Turkey. What is this? Okay. This is Turkey, right? Yeah, it's Turkey. But right away we see a problem here. This is 25% Judaic population. Of course, this is the Syrians. And then there's J1 is the Arabic population, which is not out of the ordinary. You have I. You have the I population, I, which is Israel. So you have, you know, let's just sample in Turkey. This would be another sample, same thing. I guess it's the same thing. What's this? Oh, Sephardic. Okay, so we got Sephardic here. This is interesting here. Okay, of course we have a J1, J2 population. Remember the T? There's the TY chromosome. Remember the G? There's the GY chromosome. Remember the E1B1? There's the E1B1 right there. Sephardic Jewish population. So I'm not making things up. And a little sliver of the eye. There's the eye. See, I'm really not making things up. So that's not so bad. This map is so we got the K. This K would be Madai or the Medes. There's a little sliver there, K there, little sliver here, Medes there, little sliver there. But of course, the Medes came from way over here, so that's not too bad. We have the I, the G, the white is the G, Assyrian, and the L is the Tiras. This gray here, that's Tiras. Gray there, gray here. Or is that the same gray? That's not the same gray. No, that'd be the F. And the F is the Arameans. Anyway, something like that. But then, of course, we can follow the I and the J. And I think, yeah, the I and the J. Okay, the J is the green. The I is the pink. So you can see quite a lot, quite a lot of pink in here. You know, over 25% of the population in many cases. All this pink here, all that, all that pink, all the way up there, even well into Russia. You have the pink. Of course, we looked at this area in Ukraine here, and it also had the eye of Israel. All this pink, half of the population right here. This is where the eye too is concentrated. But all this pink here that we see here, that's all Israel. It's all direct descendants of Israel. All that pink color. Because the J is the green color. Of course, the more you get over here, the more green color you're going to have, because this whole swath of between Italy, Greece, Turkey, and Iran is all, huge population of Judaic people. And in Europe, the lost tribes are all this pink here. Well into Portugal, well into Spain, And if you look at the mitochondrial DNA, Europe is like 95% plus mitochondrially Semitic. So not only is there all this pink here, and there's most of it's mitochondrially it's Semitic. And the question is, how did all this red get here? The red got there partly from the steppe people coming into Europe, which included Israel as well, but they brought with them the RY chromosome as well. But there are huge populations in England, Ireland, and Spain and France and Portugal, which is something I don't know how that happened, but it's a big population. Somehow, you know, I don't know how it happened. But anyways, it's it's an Asian Y chromosome, but the population doesn't really look very Asian. I mean, a little bit it does, but and the other Asian population would be this N, this purple. This purple up here is Asian, and the more you go up here, the more people start looking Asian because there's less. Of course, the yellow is R too. So all this yellow, all this red and yellow, that's all the Japhethite, Gomer, Ashkenaz population. Well, the yellow is the Ashkenaz, the red is Gomer, but I don't know, maybe it's another population of descendant from Gomer. So yeah, the yellow is explained by Ashkenaz, and so the R, I mean the red R would be probably another descendant of Gomer, which could be, I don't know, one of the other sons of Gomer. Possibly. They probably came through the Mediterranean Sea because there's stories of the Jewish people going through the Mediterranean Sea, going all the way out and going all the way up here. All these Celtic people, which is basically what this is, all Celtic people. These Celtic people have traditions of being, you know, somewhat related to Israel or Israelite, going through the Mediterranean Sea, going all around here, all the way up in here. These Celtic peoples are, you know, to a large extent Israelite people, but with an RY chromosome. So they must have mixed in here somehow and went this way or something. I don't know. But then this quote unquote Germanic population is more of an Israelite population. And of course, we know the story of the Vikings that invaded England and everything. And that's how I got there, over there. It was either the Vikings or the Anglo-Saxons, but I do have some Scandinavian DNA, so apparently it was a Viking. Possibly. So there's that. That's about it. That's good enough, I guess. Well, I've been going on a diatribe. Let me see what's going on in here. Honesty Angel. I guess everybody else got tired. Okay, that's about it, I guess. I've been going on too long, probably. But I did yesterday. I did go through the old Earth, um, the old Earth Y chromosome science, you know. So, and I got in the explanation. I got the most up to date information on all the Y chromosomes here in the description and the description of this video as well. So that's it. Okay, sounds good. I left the chat up and just in case there would be some opposition. But I guess the opposition is a little bit scarce right now for whatever reason. But anyways, thanks for your participation. Thanks for watching the video, and stay close to God, because that's what changes our lives and transforms our lives for the better.